Hi, welcome everyone. Just wait for Marius from Hellerman to switch on with me. There we go. Hey Marius, how are you doing?
Good, and you?
Good, and a warm welcome to all of you. Thank you so much for joining us today on our Voltex webinar. We are here today with HellermannTyton. I'm very proud to have them on board with us, and they've put together a really awesome presentation that I think you'll enjoy. We will host a brief Q&A session afterwards. For any questions you might have, please just feel free to pop them in the chat log, and we'll get through to them at the end. That's really it from my side. Marius, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity that we can present some of our products for your customers. And yeah, I'll go through the presentation and hopefully there's some questions.
Awesome. Let's get started then. Let me hang on 2 seconds. There we go. All right, Marius, over to you.
Thanks, Robin. Thanks, Voltex, and everyone that's participating this afternoon. My name is Marius Kempenaar. I'm from HellermannTyton. I'm the product specialist on the testing equipment, and today I'm going to present to you guys products from HellermannTyton. Okay, what I would like to do is maybe just start by giving customers a little bit of a background from HellermannTyton, what HellermannTyton is all about. And then I've got 5 new products that I would like to present to the participants. So the products that I'm going to present, it's called, it's a HT Italia product, and it's one of our products that we import, and I want to specifically focus on their products. So just bear with me a little bit. I just want to show you guys quickly a little bit about HellermannTyton. So this is HellermannTyton Johannesburg. This is our main branch in Limburg Park, and what we do there is we do a little bit of manufacturing as well. Our main stores are there, and HellermannTyton is basically a cable management solutions, tools and instruments company. We have a comprehensive product basket that can be used in most electrical installations. We are a EEE compliant manufacturer producing products and customized engineered plastic injected molding solutions. We have 50 years of experience and knowledge from product development to system solutions tailored for your requirements. So this is basically the products that we focus on. We have cable ties and fixings that we do a heat shrink, we do cable protection, crimping terminals and accessories. We do identification systems, testing instruments and electrician's tools. We do network connectivity and customized solutions. So we have 4 branches. The one main branch I showed you guys, that was the one in Johannesburg. Then we've got one in Durban, Cape Town, and Port Elizabeth. What HellermannTyton also do is we focus a lot of times on training, and training is not only for our staff, but it's also for our partners in the electrical industry. Our products are tested and approved to the relevant local standards, at your SANS 1142, your SABS, and so forth. Then we are also a proud member of Safe House. Now, HellermannTyton, we serve our industry. So we are a tailor-made solutions for different markets and industries. HellermannTyton is a one-stop shop for in-house product design to development and manufacturing. Our mission is to provide innovative solutions to customer satisfaction in mind. Your partner of choice. We are committed to being the customer's partner of choice through our offerings of extensive range of quality products backed by exceptional service. Now, HellermannTyton has got a global footprint. The HellermannTyton South Africa is a subsidiary of the HellermannTyton Group, which operates globally in 39 countries, employs over 4,000 people, and generates revenue in excess of 700 million euros. So basically, that's the background of HellermannTyton. I just wanted to give you guys a slight background of Hellermann before we go ahead with the products. So the first product that we're going to talk about today, it's called a Flashmeter. This is a very new meter. We we started selling it about 6 months to a year ago into the market, but it's got specific pointers. So if you guys quickly go through the pointers, you can see it's an AC/DC voltage meter. It's an auto-ranging meter. And you can see clearly from the picture, the meter doesn't have a selector. So most people know if you buy a multimeter, it's got multiple selections onto it. This meter doesn't have that selection because everything is auto-range. The meter basically thinks for itself. So you've got an AC/DC voltage meter. It measures resistance and continuity. It's a Cat4 600 volt meter and a Cat3 1000 volt meter. And then it's got an IP rating of 67. That's why we show the water splashing around the meter. This meter, you can basically physically submerge it into water and still remove it from the water and directly use it. Now, the reason why it's called a flash meter, guys, is because the meter has got a built-in flash. So if you're working in dark environments, you can use this meter in dark environments. So just by switching on the flash meter, if you look clearly on the picture, you can see there's a small little button that you can switch on the flash meter. Then the meter has got very nice features like it can measure non-contact voltages as well. And there's plenty others. I just wanted to show some of the outstanding features of the meter. So the next meter that we would like to show, guys, it's called an iron meter. And like you see on the picture and so on, it looks like a strong and durable meter, and that was the reasoning behind the meter. This meter is an auto-ranging AC/DC meter to the maximum of 600 volts. Maximum that is only with test leads. It's a frequency meter, resistance and continuity with a buzzer. It measures capacity. It's got an integrated light, white light illuminator by default, meaning it's got a flash as well. And yeah, this is a very, very strong and durable meter. Just to give you guys a background on this meter, there's we tested it at the office where we threw it around. We actually put it underneath a vehicle, drove over it, and it was still in a working condition afterwards. I'm not saying everyone should do that, but it's just to prove that the meter is quite strong and durable. So the next meter in the range is called a Jupiter. Now, when this meter came out, our supplier brought out a whole range of meters, and it's got specific names like Jupiter and so forth. You will see from other meters as well. And Jupiter is specifically, it's a compliance tester. Now, guys doing compliance testing would know they need to measure prospective short circuit current, loop, earth leakages, phase rotation, voltages, and so forth. So this meter is basically designed to do that. So if you go through the pointers that I've got there, first of all, it's a Cat4 600 volt meter or a Cat3 690 volt, depending on the voltage systems that you're working on. It's got an AC/DC TRMS voltages. It can measure up to 3000 amp maximum. That is through a specific flexible CT that you can buy for the meter as an optional extra. Then it can measure inrush currents, it can measure continuity, it can measure voltage harmonics as well as current harmonics up to the 25th. It can do phase rotation with a one-wire method. Now, this is very, very new in the market, where normally when you do phase rotation, you've got a meter that's got 3 crock clips that you need to make contact with the metal. A lot of times it's very difficult to make contact with the screws or the wires and so on. And this meter makes it so much easier, where you use only one wire and you can physically go from phase 1 to phase 2. The meter memorizes phase 1 to phase 2 and then calculates the phase rotation on that system. Now, the next pointer, it's called RCD testing. Now, RCD stands for residual current device. So that is basically an earth leakage. We in South Africa know it as earth leakage. Now, RCDs, so this meter can measure earth leakages from 30 milliamps, 100 milliamps, 300 milliamps, plus it can measure the time delay. So to explain that, basically, is when you're measuring an earth leakage in a domestic unit of 30 milliamps, a lot of times you measure the earth leakage, and when it reaches a certain point, it has to trip, let's say on 25 milliamps. But it takes a little bit longer, let's say longer than half a second. If it takes that long, that meaning that earth leakage might be faulty. Even though it tripped, it just takes too long. So this will give you a time delay and say to you, okay, no, it took let's say 500 milliseconds. So 500 milliseconds already is far too long. So by default, it's better to replace that earth leakage and not use it anymore. Then the meter, when it can do your prospective short circuit current and loop tripping as well. So this meter is designed with a 2-wire test that allows you to test between live and neutral, live and earth, and then and live to live as well, where a lot of PSC loop testers or prospective short circuit current and loop testers aren't allowed to do that. And what's nice about this tester, if you test from a socket, it will not trip your earth leakage, which is a very, very nice feature to this meter, where a lot of conventional PSC loop testers, if you test from a plug socket point, it will trip your earth leakage. So the next tester we've got, it's called a Mercury. Now, Mercury has got to do with temperature, and this meter is a multimeter with a built-in thermal camera. So the features on the meter specifically, it's a Cat 4 600 volt meter. It's got a Cat 3 1000 volt rating as well, and it's a true RMS AC plus DC voltage meter. It can measure AC true RMS currents with a flexible clamp. Now there's the flexible clamp at the bottom right. You guys can see that's the flexi clamp. It's a standard feature to this meter. It's an optional extra to the previous meter, the Jupiter. The Jupiter, you can add that that meter to that, and then you've got a optional extra CT that you can use with the Jupiter, but with the Mercury, it's part of the features. You can also measure DC currents, but it's an optional CT. This F3000U is only a AC CT. Then this meter can also measure the voltage and current harmonics up to the 25th. And then the nice feature of this meter, it's got a thermal camera. It's an IR 80 by 80 pixel thermal camera built in. And what's nice about that is that it allows you to connect also to your cell phone or tablet via Bluetooth. And the software, it's a free software download called HT Mercury. And also in the package, there's software that you can load onto your Windows computer. So it's got a built-in memory, but you can add a small SD card internally as well. And that allows you to save onto the meter, or you can make use of your cell phone and save everything on your cell phone. And like I said, all software is included. And then this meter comes with a calibration certificate. Okay, next meter. So the next meter is a brand new meter that our supplier is offering to us as well. There's not a lot of information on the internet yet on this meter, and we are still anxiously waiting for more information from our supplier. But this is basically information that is available. First of all, it's a Cat 4 600 volt meter or a Cat 3 1000 volt true RMS voltage meter. And then the plus point of this meter, and it's very unique, it can measure DC voltages up to 1500 volts. Now that is specifically for the guys doing solar. The new regulations allow the guys to measure up to 1500 volts DC with a handheld multimeter. So this meter is one of our first clamp meters that actually has got this feature now. So it also can measure your AC or DC currents. It's an AC-DC meter up to 1000 volts. And it can also measure inrush currents. Now, the other unique feature to this meter, it also has a built-in thermal camera. Now, the thermal camera is similar to the Mercury, the previous meter, the Mercury. It's got an 80 by 80 pixelations. The infrared temperatures the thermal camera can measure is from -20 to 260. It has 3 cursors. It has an auto detect of our hot and cold spots that will be visible on the screen. It has 5 selectable color palettes, and it's got a laser pointer and illuminator. Now, all these features that you're seeing of the thermal camera is it's exactly the same as the previous meter, the Mercury. It's the same family meters. The only difference is one is a multimeter, one is a clamp meter. So that it gives the customer the option of deciding between a clamp meter or a multimeter with either a multimeter function or the one that's only a clamp meter function. So it uses a SD card as well. It's got a small built-in memory, and again, you can use a Bluetooth to Android with a Mercury app that is that's all it's downloadable, and then all other software is included into the packaging. And of course, this meter also comes with a calibration certificate. And guys, that is basically the 5 brand new meters that we brought into the system. If there's any questions, please feel free to send us questions, and hopefully we can help you online. Guys, this is the conclusion of the 5 meters that we were talking about. First meter is a flash meter. It's a 1000 volts AC/DC meter. It's got continuity. It can measure continuity and resistance. It's a Cat4 600, Cat3 1000. It's got an IP rating of 67, meaning it's it can handle water, dust, and stuff like that. Then our next meter was the iron meter. It's a 600 volt AC/DC Cat3 meter. It can measure currents up to 10 amps with the leads. It's got resistance and continuity cap, flash, and it's a very strong, durable meter. The Jupiter, of course, like I said, it's a compliance tester. It allows you to do multifunction testing in the compliance environment. It's got a Cat4 600 volt rating. It measures voltage and current harmonics. It allows you to do phase rotation with one wire method. The RCD function allows you to measure 30 milliamp, 100 milliamp, and 300 milliamp earth leakages with a time delay. The PEC loop measures between live and neutral, live to live, live to earth, and measured from a plug point. Will not trip your earth leakage. A Mercury meter is our first of 2 meters that's got a built-in thermal camera. So it's also a Cat4 600 volt TRMS multimeter. It measures voltage and current harmonics. It measures your thermal. It does the thermal function, and it works. It allows you to connect via Bluetooth to Android phones or Windows devices. And our last meter, of course, is the Eclipse. That's also it's a clamp meter for 600 volt TRMS. It measures DC voltage up to 1000 volts, which is a unique feature on this meter out of from the supplier. Then it's got the thermal camera. It's got an 80 by 80 thermal camera. It's got built-in Bluetooth that can connect to your Android phones. It uses an app called HD Mercury, and it also comes with a full calibration certificate. That's it. Thank you, guys. If there's any questions, please feel free to send us a chat so we can see where we can help.
Thank you, Marius. That was awesome. Just going to go through the questions here. I see we've got a few nice ones coming in. They're asking where they can find a price list of all the meters. You can purchase the meters through the Voltex group and other Hellerman products. I'll just let that one in there. But from your side, where is a price list available?
I would say the best solution would be for the customers to speak directly with Voltex, since you guys are partnered with us. With HellermannTyton, though, we are currently on lockdown now, so it won't be easy to get a hold of any of us. So there's no price list on our website. So unfortunately, it's going to be other Voltex. Branches.
Yeah, and Voltex is also obviously under lockdown, but we are open to essential services, as well as you can place your orders on our online store. Delivery will take place after lockdown, but you are still welcome to shop online. Yes. The next question is, can I check body temperature with this meter? And I see that this is in relation to COVID-19.
Yes and no. It's a yes, you can see body temperatures, and depending on the settings that you're using. The only drawback is the instrument is about 3% on temperature, slightly out on plus minus 3%, where if you're measuring body temperature specifically for COVID, you need something that's slightly more accurate. But as an essential use and for basic use, yes, you can use it. But it all comes down to settings. And if a customer buys it specifically for that application, please let them, if they can send me a mail, I can explain to them how to do the settings, how to set up the meter for that specific use. But we don't sell it as a medical product.
Yeah. I see another question here from Indres Pillay. He says, do all meters have SD cards or memory storage?
Not all meters, just the Mercury and the Eclipse. You're allowed to add a SD card to the meter, and it's got a small built-in memory as well. But the built-in memory is very small, so that it doesn't allow you to store a lot of pictures and a lot of information onto that. Where you can add a SD card up to 8 gigs. I think it's up to 8 gigs on those 2 meters.
Sure, that's quite big. Jabu here has asked, how does the Eclipse meter work with Bluetooth?
Yeah, so with the Bluetooth, it's got a built-in Bluetooth send and receive, and it basically communicates with an Android phone or even with your Windows computers. If you connect it to your Windows computers via Bluetooth and so on, it works well. And
Jabu's second question is, where can we buy? Again, through the Voltex group online, our branches. It here says, do you need to be qualified to use the thermal camera and software? Any qualifications required there?
Not really, depending on what you're doing, depending on where you're working. If you just use it for general use, it's fine, any person can use it. But if you do specific reporting, I would suggest do a formal thermography course, so you can get at least a level 1 certification. If you do reporting specifically for insurance purposes and stuff like that. But now for general use, like you said earlier, for the COVID-19, the guy can, any person can basically use the thermal camera. You just need to understand how the thermal camera maybe work, how to set it up perfectly, and then you can do your measurements.
And I see Jabu's here also asked a follow-up question saying nothing for iPhone.
iPhone, in the past, our supplier had connections to iPhone, but there's not a lot of things that works very well with iPhone. I'm talking about experiences when I used to have an iPhone before, and it's just really difficult working with an iPhone to certain products. So, Jabu, sorry, no iPhone.
And Jabu's also asked, what's the warranty like on these meters?
We have a 2-year warranty on our products, specifically on the testing equipment, but and then we do have some product that's got a lifetime warranty on it. But those 5 specific products has got a 2-year warranty on those meters.
And Devan here said, are there any meters available which can be used to do data logging or power energy?
Yeah, we specialize in power meters as well. We've got a whole range of power meters. These 5 specific products are more suited for thermography, a little bit of power analysis and general multimeter use. But for power analysis, please, they can send me an email and I can help them with the full range of power analysis meters.
Got you. And is there any meter in the range that can do partial discharge testing, acoustics in brackets?
No, we don't do acoustic discharge testing.
Great. I see we've got some more here. What would it take into account ambient temperature?
Ambient temperature, is it specifically now for thermography measurement?
We'll have to see.
Okay. Maybe I can slightly maybe explain with ambient temperature. So normally when you do thermography, a lot of times you need to take ambient temperature in relation to whatever you're measuring. So if I'm walking into a very hot environment and so on, I need to adjust my thermal camera slightly to that as well. So this is where ambient temperature, specifically when it comes to measuring body temperature, plays a major role. So when, for instance, if I need to measure your temperature, but you were standing in the sun for an half an hour, so your core temperature is quite heated up. So when I do measure you, the temperature will be much higher. So that is also the difference when you in an office environment and your temperature is slightly lower. So environmental or ambient temperature plays a big role in doing thermography.
And here's saying wouldn't the camera only measure the surface temperature?
It measures the reflection of the temperature, the surface reflection temperature, yes.
And is there templates for thermography reporting?
Yeah, we depending on what meters you're using, yeah, we've got templates that the customer can use, yes.
And Tim's saying, where can I attend the course for accreditation purposes?
There's various companies and so on. I don't think I can put it on live where, but if he's really interested in something, he can send me an email and I can gladly help him with that.
And a slightly competitive question coming in here: how do these compare to Major Tech and 3D meters?
It depends. Depends on there's feature differences between our meters and theirs, and of course your backup services, your calibration certificates. So there's a lot of reasons where, by looking at ours compares to our position and so on, you can decide for yourself what benefits you the most.
That's awesome. Is there any other questions that anyone would like to ask? Just having a look through the questions here. Don't see anything else coming through. From my side, I just want to reiterate that Voltex is still open to take online orders. Delivery will take place after lockdown, and you can shop the HellermannTyton range through the Voltex branch network as well as our online store. Here's another one. Do you have any in-house collaboration service?
Calibrations?
Yes, sorry.
No, no, we don't do in-house calibration. We send it to, we outsource it to calibration labs. You need certain environments in order to do your calibrations, and at this stage we don't do in-house. We send it to calibration labs specifically.
And Sylvana's asking, are there any new products you're planning on launching soon?
Every day. We're discussing some new products this morning as well. So there is a lot of new products. Always just have a look at HellermannTyton's website. Have a look at I would say new pamphlets going out and so on. We're actually getting a lot of new products out nowadays.
And I see here 3D have very good replacement policy. What warranty do you have?
Replacements, depending on what the situation is, we will look at the product, see if we can what the problem is with the product. If it's a manufacturing problem, we will do a warranty replacement for you on that. A lot of times, if it's damaged, we will send it to a repairs place to see if we can repair it. If not repaired, depending on the situation, we do a warranty replacement, or we will sometimes, depending on the situation, we can do a replacement at least 50% or so, something like that.
And
but
sorry, carry on.
Yeah, it all depends. So it's very dependable on what the situation is, because it changes from customer to customer.
And Adhere has also said, if the meter does measure thermal reflection, how would it measure the body temp for COVID, which is an internal temperature?
Now, you see, when you're measuring temperatures for, specifically now for COVID, it's basically skin temperature that they are measuring, because you get your core temperatures, you get your skin temperature. So basically, with the settings that we are using at this stage now with our thermal cameras, is we adjust the thermal camera in such a way that it measures the the skin temperature, and then it will give us some sort of a reflection to what the core temperature of the person should be.
Sure, that's very interesting. And yes, Silvana, Voltex is open to support essential services during lockdown. You can have a look at the Voltex website. There is a list of emergency contact numbers should you need any assistance throughout this period. I see a few questions. I'm just having a last look through here. Anything interesting that might... we went through the warranty process and the qualifications, and you can purchase through Voltex. And just to recap, the Eclipse meter works with Bluetooth.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, fantastic. I think that's all the questions that I'm seeing from here. And if you have any questions for Marius yourself, you're welcome to email marketing@voltex.co.za. We can put you in touch with Marius and assist in helping whatever questions you may have. But other than that, I think that's it from our side. Thank you very much, Marius.
Thank you, Robin.
And stay tuned to the Voltex pages for future webinars over the next coming days and weeks. And we look forward to seeing you then. But have a wonderful afternoon, everybody.
Thank you.